Have you ever wondered which specific human terms your feline friend truly grasps when you speak? Many owners assume their pets only react to the rustle of a food pouch or a clicking can lid. However, a revolutionary research paper from Sophia University in Japan demonstrated that felines actually identify and process distinct words you repeat every day. And there is one particular term, which nearly every guardian uses incorrectly, that could be quietly damaging the bond with your pet without your realization. Let's explore the primary word they master before any other. 1. They demand recognition of their name. Have you ever called out to your cat only to see them stare, blink slowly, and then head in the opposite direction? You likely assumed they were oblivious, but they weren't. They heard you perfectly. In 2019, scientist Atsuko Saito and her colleagues at Sophia University in Tokyo released a study that redefined our understanding of feline linguistics. They observed numerous cats and discovered a fascinating fact. Felines can tell their own names apart from random nouns, and even from words that share a similar phonetic sound. So why don't they always sprint toward you? Because felines aren't biologically programmed for the same compliance as dogs. Canines were selected for their obedience. Felines were never designed to follow orders. When your cat perceives their name, they perform a calculation. They evaluate whether reacting is beneficial based on what typically follows that sound. If hearing their name usually results in a reward, like a snack, a toy, or a scratch, they are far more prone to respond. If it generally precedes a bath or a carrier box, don't expect a reaction. And that is the most intriguing part. Your cat understands your speech exactly. They simply decide if you are worth their attention in that moment. And if they recognize their own identity, what else have they been learning in the shadows? The final point on this list might permanently shift your perspective on your pet. 2. They know the boundaries of the word no. Have you noticed how a cat stops dead in their tracks the moment you say no? Perhaps they were climbing the curtains or getting ready to swipe a glass off the shelf. You spoke once and they paused. So, they understood the rule, right? Well, partially. Your feline definitely learns what no signifies over months of living with you. But here is the nuance most people miss. Cats don't interpret the word in the way humans do. They react to your pitch, your volume, and the underlying emotional energy. That sudden, sharp noise triggers a negative connection in their brain. Your pet learns that when that specific sound occurs, an annoying event follows. They stop not out of a sense of morality, but to avoid an unpleasant outcome. This is where it gets dangerous. If you scream no too frequently, too sharply, or at the wrong time, your cat doesn't learn house rules. They learn to be afraid. They begin to link your presence with high stress. Over time, this shifts the dynamic. They hide more often. They flinch at your fast movements. They stop seeking your company. Not because they lost affection, but because you unintentionally changed what being near you means. The most successful owners use the word no calmly and rarely, a brief, steady tone. No shouting, no constant repetition. One quiet no followed by showing them an alternative activity. That is how you guide them without damaging their trust. And if this is making you reflect on every chat you've had with your kitty, please like and subscribe so we can reach more owners who need to understand what their cats are thinking. 3. They definitely know the word treat. What is the single word that makes a cat manifest out of nowhere, regardless of where they are hiding? You already know it. Treat. You could mutter it in a whisper from the basement, and suddenly your cat is standing at your feet, gazing at you like they've been expecting this for hours. This isn't just a cute habit, it's biology. Cats learn through a concept called classical conditioning. This is the exact mechanism Pavlov identified over a century ago, when he saw that dogs salivated at the sound of a bell because they linked the noise to an upcoming meal. When a specific vocal cue is paired with the same result every single time, the brain creates a hardwired bridge between the two. The word equals food. No logic needed. It becomes a reflex. The funny thing is, most owners don't realize they are active trainers. You never gave them formal language lessons. You just said the word before the snack, over and over, until your cat did the rest. They linked the phonetics to the reward faster than you'd believe, because food is the ultimate driver in a cat's universe. But it expands beyond the word. Some cats react to the sound of a specific drawer, the crinkle of plastic, or even the rhythm of your walk toward the pantry. They've constructed a whole sequence of clues. The word is simply the most blatant signal in a system your cat mastered on their own. 4. They recognize your other cat's name. If you live in a multi-cat home, have you ever called one pet and seen the other one react? Maybe they looked toward their sibling, Maybe they glanced at the favourite sleeping spot of their housemate. You probably thought it was just luck. It wasn't. In 2022, a team led by Saho Takagi at Kyoto University published research that shocked the scientific community. They discovered that cats living in groups learn and identify the names of their companions. Not just the noise, but the individual identity. They proved this by playing a recorded name while showing either the matching cat or a different cat on a digital screen. When the wrong face appeared, the cat stared at the image significantly longer. That prolonged stare is a classic sign in animal psychology. It indicates that reality didn't match their internal expectation. They heard the name, they envisioned a specific face, and when it didn't align, they were confused. Think about the depth of that for a moment. Your cat has been building a social map of your entire family. They know who is who. They know which label belongs to which individual. Nobody coached them. They learned it simply by observing you and tracking patterns you didn't even know you were exhibiting. So next time you call one kitty and the other looks up, it isn't an accident. They knew exactly who you wanted and decided to eavesdrop. 5. They understand the invitation to come here. Have you ever looked at your cat, said, "Come here," and watched them actually approach you? Most people think it was just a lucky coincidence, but what if your feline has grasped those words for much longer than you suspected? This is the point we mentioned earlier, and it might change how you interact with them forever. Cats aren't born with an innate vocabulary, but through thousands of tiny interactions, they bridge the gap between those sounds and the outcome. You say it and then you offer a pet. You say it and they get a warm lap. You say it and they feel secure. Your cat didn't learn this from a manual. They learned it from your consistency. From every moment those words resulted in something positive. That is why this phrase is different from anything else. Treat is about hunger. No is about avoidance. But come here is about your unique bond. When your cat hears those words and decides to walk toward you, they aren't obeying a master. They are confirming that every past experience they had with you, after hearing that phrase, made them feel safe enough to want to be near you again.